something to say about this whole Cullman, Alabama thing, and I'm going to say it because I can. I grew up in Northwest Alabama in a very small, very, very diverse town. Very diverse. And when we would go play football in Cullman, I have never in my entire life heard so many slurs thrown at not only our football players, but also our fans and parents and brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, about 4 years ago, we went down there to play a football game. And you know the people who move that little sign for the yards and stuff like that? Like, I don't know all the meanings. Anyways, one of our players who happened to be black, he got tackled like on the 2-yard line. We had a really good football team. And when he got up, this grown man who was working this football game threw a nasty, nasty slur at him. As a matter of fact, they kicked him, the yard man, out of the game, came over the intercom, and asked somebody to come work the field because that's how nasty the slur was. Now, I don't go to Cullman. The only reason I go to Cullman is to go through Cullman to Birmingham. That's it. If you want to go to this Christmas market, go to this Christmas market. But I will tell you, I don't know about everybody there, but I know the majority of people are only going to like people who look like me and her. Okay? That is the truth. I would not say it if it were not true. And it has always been like that. I am 44 years old. And as far back as I can remember, my father was a football coach for my entire life. Every time we went down there, he reminded us of this because I also have a diverse family. He reminded us, told us to stay together, not get off by ourselves, don't go to Cullman side and stuff like that. So I've seen it, I've heard it, I've experienced it. I've experienced it, and so have my brothers and my sisters and a lot of my friends. So I know Cullman is like that. And I'm sorry, I can't support that, and I just would implore you not to support something like that as well.
So some people are saying that Cullman, Alabama is a sundown town. And there are some people who are saying that it isn't. All I know is that I will never find out because I'm never going to Cullman, Alabama. To be honest with you, if I never have a reason, I'm never going to Alabama, period. And to all my people who live in Alabama, please don't take this as disrespect because to be completely honest with you, I live in Georgia. And if I don't have a reason to, I'm not going too far outside of Atlanta. So in conclusion, I love Christmas, but I don't love Christmas that much, okay? In the words of my mother, we've got the Hallmark Channel at home.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Robbie Masaga. Today I'm diving deep into a lesser known town with a history that speaks volume about race. I'm talking about Cullman, Alabama, a small town with a big past. Currently, the town is hosting an event known as Christ Kingdom Mart. This event features a wide variety of attractions, including Alabama's largest skating rink, thrilling tubing slides, numerous vendors offering German authentic foods, crafts, and unique holiday items. It also features daily live entertainment, activities for kids like Santa's workshop, and festive lighting displays. However, some people have reportedly expressed concerns about attending due to underlying racial tensions in Cullman's history. The city has faced criticism in the past as a sundown town. For those who don't know, sundown town is a label given to places where non-white individuals were historically unwelcomed after dark. This past continues to cast a shadow on community events as some perceive the city's cultural celebrations as exclusionary despite efforts to create an inclusive environment. I've seen multiple posts and comments online of Black people who've had a negative experience in Alabama. They're telling their fellow, they're telling others not to visit the town because it's known for being predominantly white and very unwelcoming to Black visitors.
I've lived in the South all my life. And this is about us not being able to go places. I made a post earlier this year that talked about how people want to get rid of history. And one of the reasons is that because They don't want to remember the times when their grandmas and granddaddies and whoever used to act up. There is no place in the South, because I've lived here all my life and gonna die here, that is not populated by Black people because we just don't like to be there. If there are no Black people in your little southern town, because there are more Black people in southern regions than any other reason in the US, it's because it's unsafe to be there. That is the only reason. We disproportionately have people who are struggling in our population, but most Black people are stable. And stable Black people like to go on vacation. Stable Black people like southern small town living just like anybody else. But if there are no Black people there, it's because it's unsafe to be there. And people like to think, oh, we're not like that anymore. When people used to make those unaliving parties, they used to send out postcards. It was entertainment. It was something for the whole family to do. They would get dressed up and they would take souvenirs from the body and take them home. You can find pictures in the newspaper and postcards about what a fun time they had in archives, because it was something that was common. And what you want to believe, or what some people want to believe, is that it was people that you could pick out, that these were dirty, angry people that no longer exist. No, it was the mayor, it was the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker in these towns, and it was a social activity. Everyone participated. And if you didn't participate in it, you were complicit. So when you have a sundown town, everyone has tacitly agreed that this is a place that is just fine, and it's a lawless place. So it's not a safe place. Those little Hallmark towns that you hear about, or that particular Hallmark town that you hear about in Alabama, now that they want to start having, make money in tourism, they want to forget about their past and forget about the people who still live there. Because that's not something that you just grow out of. When you are doing a party where you unalive someone and you sit down in a nice skirt and eat a nice sandwich while someone is burned, that's something you have to excise. That's something that you have to address directly. That's something that you have to shame. That's not something that just goes away. So I suggest those people take a real hard look at things, and anyone else who's thinking of going down there, don't. Not just because you don't want to support, that sort of thing, but because, like I said, it's a lawless place. You don't know what's going to happen. That nice guy that's behind the counter at the ice cream shop, you don't know what he's capable of, because he's been able to be, or allowed to be, capable of anything.
Siren to let Black folks know they're allowed in the town? Let's talk about it. A few of you sent this video of a TikToker sharing her grandfather's lived experience, asking if I could find evidence of this or not.
Years ago, that siren would go off solely to inform the Black community that they're now allowed into town. So on Saturdays, when you have to go shop, grocery shop, go around and about, Black people weren't allowed to do that until noon.
Just as with sundown towns, there's limited evidence of these horrors, and part of the reason I tell the stories I do. Keep in mind that written evidence isn't the only type of evidence. Oral history is still history, and this Mississippi town isn't the only place with residents speaking of this phenomenon. Since 1921, in the former sundown town Minden, Nevada, a daily 6 p.m. alarm would sound to alert non-white people that they must leave the city limits before the sun faded. In the mid-1970s, the siren was rebranded and seen as a, quote, tribute to the hundreds of volunteer firefighters that served Douglas County over the years. As a result of years of letter writing, petitioning, and protests by the local Washoe tribes, the alarm ceased in June 2021 when the state governor introduced a law prohibiting any alarms with similar racist history. So it's probable that other sirens existed around the country as a means to alert Black and brown people on how they should behave. And just like in Nevada, these alarms may have been later rebranded as a way to obfuscate the true history.
I don't care what y'all talking about. Yes, I'm about to head to Cullman, Alabama to see the Christmas lights. I'm from Jasper, Alabama, right down from Cullman. And yes, we've been told our whole life, don't be caught in Cullman, Alabama after dark. But I'm going to tell y'all this right here. How beautiful those lights are. I mean, the scenery. I'm going. I've been seeing a lot of glimpses of it on the internet, and it's so beautiful. Yes, I saw a lot of people there, and no, I didn't see anybody that looked like me. Will I make it back safe? I don't know. But as beautiful as those lights are, I'm going. If I don't make it back, tell my mama I left the keys to the safe under the bed. The code to the safe is 777-9311. And if I make it back harmed, to call my lawyer. And the number is 800-600-6014. But y'all, I'm going. How pretty those lights is. I'm going.
I keep seeing these TikTok videos about Cullman, Alabama, and its Hallmark Christmas celebration. Hallmark Town. Everybody talking about it like they're scared to go. The videos look beautiful. Look absolutely pleasant, like something straight out of a movie. I saw food that looked good, but what I haven't seen anybody that looks like me going. So guess what? I'm going. I'm going to Cullman, Alabama to the Hallmark Town Christmas celebration. I'm going to visit some vendors. I hope to take a picture with a Santa if they got one. And I'm going to eat me some food. It came across my For You page. It didn't say for them. I think it's for everybody. I don't really do rumors, so I'm going to go firsthand to find out if I wasn't supposed to be there. And if I don't make a follow-up video, I guess I wasn't supposed to be there. Who else going to check out the Hallmark Cullman, Alabama Christmas? What day y'all going on? I think I'm going Saturday. I hope it's a vendor there with them little Debbie snack cake Christmas trees. But it's definitely part of my 25 days of Christmas.
It's very heartbreaking to think that that Christmas lights could be overshadowed by fear and racism. And this reminds us that racism is not just a thing of the past. It does exist even today. It does exist. I've heard of so many, sundown towns. I've seen how black people are, terrorized in these towns. I've seen how they are followed behind. How these people ask them whether they belong to that community or not. We are in 2024 and people are still doing these things. You're trying to celebrate Christmas, but you still don't want people from other communities. Then tell me how you can be a Christian and at the same time hate on other people. Just how? Because hate does not go hand in hand with, Christianity. When you're a Christian, you need to learn on how to accommodate others. It's like a church. A church accommodates everyone. A church has to accommodate every person, whether a sinner, whether a righteous person. It has to accommodate everyone. Tell me how you can be celebrating Christmas and you still don't want to accommodate someone from a different community in this day and era. We're in 2024 and we're still doing these things to others. We are still discriminating fellow human beings just because of color. To an extent where people fear visiting some country because they know if they go there, they might come out alive or not alive. You know why I respect Muslims so much? Those people know how to accommodate each other. They respect each other so much. Whenever they are celebrating for anything, they know how to, come together, eat together, worship together. But for Christians, we discriminate each other, especially when color is involved. To date, we cannot learn on how to accommodate each other just because of this color, nothing else. Nothing else, because the only thing that is differentiating us is the color. And this is what that is separating us. We cannot learn, even during festive seasons, we cannot learn on how to come together, worship together, eat together, play together. We don't have that spirit in us. Just why these things used to happen long ago during our ancestors' times. We can excuse that because those were old people. Majority of them were not learned. So we do understand. Why do it today? Even when we are learned. We have education. We have the knowledge to know that this whatever that I'm doing is wrong, or whatever that I'm doing is right. Why do we have to do those behaviors even today? I've seen that some black people are saying that they will visit Cullman, Alabama. Well, I do respect your decision. I do respect whatever that you want to do. I respect it. The only advice I can give you people is, first, do your homework. Make sure that that place that you want to go to, it's safe for you. Or you can even tag along a friend or family members. At least with them, you're sure that you'll be safe. And just in case you don't have anyone to tag along, please have a plan. Make sure that in case of emergency, someone out there, someone you trust, knows where you are. You need to be cautious, because you don't know what can happen out there. We've seen how many incidents that have happened, how many black people have been attacked the entire year. The year is almost ending. We've seen how many black people have been attacked just because of being in a community that they're not supposed to be. There's a video I saw of a certain black guy who was saying how he came from prison. Then he visited this particular town. He didn't know, he wasn't aware that was an only white town. So as he was walking, he saw a certain box where they put they put old books. Then anyone can go there and pick a book, go read, then return it, or you can even exchange. Then as he was doing that, a certain white guy approached him. Then he was like, "Where do you come from? Do you belong here?" Some unnecessary questions. And that guy, he felt offended. He didn't know that just because he's black, and he's been to prison for 26 years, so there are things that have passed him. So he wasn't aware that he's not supposed to be there. So he was surprised to be approached by a white guy asking him whether he belongs to that community. And tell me, imagine if this guy happened to know that this guy came from prison. Tell me what would have happened to this guy. This guy would even, frame him, blame him of something that he didn't do. And because he came from prison after 26 years, being in prison for 26 years, it means that you did something very big, something major that had to take you to prison for 26 years. So if at all this white guy had knowledge of him being in prison for 26 years, he could even decide blame him on something else so that he can see him going back to prison. So people are walking with fear out there. They are walking with fear because they don't know what they can be blamed of. They don't know what can happen to them. Some people have gone to prison for 26 years and they were innocent. But the fact that you have that criminal record, it can take you back to prison for even not doing anything. For just walking, you can go back to prison. If someone decided to frame you for something you didn't do, you can go back to prison. And it would be easy because, at the end of the day, those courts are dominated by these people. You can't even allow these people in your community to come and celebrate Christmas with you. And you want God to bless you. You want God to forgive your sins. You want God to, when you die, you go to heaven. And you cannot accommodate your brother or your sister just because they are from a different community. We are still doing these things. And that is why black people are calling on other black people not to visit Cullman, Alabama, because they don't know what can happen to them. We've heard everyone here is giving their story. They are telling their story. They are telling what happened to them. They are telling what happened to their family members. They are not so sure whether you'll be safe out there. It's so sad that these things are still happening to date. It's just sad. It's very sad. And I'm surprised that people are okay with these things out there. You're just okay. You're okay seeing white people harassing black people right, left, and center just because of color. Why do you have to go out there asking someone whether they belong to your community? Just why? It makes you look like a fool. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me, do you think this is right? Do you think whatever is happening is right? Let me know in the comment section. Remember to subscribe, like, and also share this video. And until next time,